So the experts, they leaned forward in their seats, right? And they were like, Jackie, are you saying a lack of consent was performed? She went white as a ghost. She goes, oh, I won't need a pillow because I've got your arms. And I was like, yeah. I said, oh, be careful. These arms can cause pregnancies. I watched her just change into this person who wanted to interrogate me about the joke. So she sat there and she was just firing questions at me like, what did you mean by that? Have you gotten women pregnant before? What's your history of relationships? Do you have a criminal record? And I was like, whoa. I felt trapped in there because we're being filmed and I'm like, I've got to give honest answers here. Lying just doesn't pay. I was really upset at the end of it. I did talk to production and they said, look, like that was a pretty intense scenario. More than likely because of the topic you touched on, it won't make it to the show. So I was like, all right, I'm still a bit traumatized because that was a really personal thing and she just took it completely the wrong way and blew it up. Anyway, and this is where for me it gets really tough to talk about because of how scared I was in the following week. So we went to the first commitment ceremony and I knew she was still upset about it, right? I was just trying to put us back on a positive track and everything. So when we had our turn, the first thing she did was sit down in front of John, Mel, and Alessandra and said, oh, Ryan, we had a lovely honeymoon, but why don't you tell them about the joke you made? You sure about that? Is that really relevant? Are you trying to make me look bad, look evil and whatnot for your perspective on things, right? So I repeated the joke and then I said, oh, be careful. These arms can cause pregnancies. So all the rest of the group was sitting over there. They heard it and half of them laughed. They had a bit of a chuckle, right? That triggered her in a way I've never seen before. Hey, she leant over the couch, looked over there at the rest of them and said, how the hell can you guys find that funny? She was literally yelling at them across the room. People like Tony are like, whoa, what the hell is this? Anyway, she went on this little tirade. And I said to her, I go, because Jack, it's funny when you think about it. She goes, if not funny, I will forever stand up for women's rights, particularly when it concerns rape.
Where'd the rape come from?
No idea. She screamed it across the room in front of who knows how many crew, the rest of the cast, and they will verify it as well. Like they wanted to skip past that as soon as possible because it's just so dangerous. That is such a dangerous thing to say and be associated with, particularly as a man.
I would have went running right there. Yeah.
So after she screamed it out, I took my arm off from around it and I just went, sure, Jackie? Are you sure that's the direction you want this to take? What is going on here? So the experts, they leaned forward in their seats, right? And they were like, Jackie,